Hi, Ken Smith with KenSmithFishing.com. I'm going to give you some map tips today on Rayburn. This is the first year in a really long time that I fished outside of the state of Texas. I fished the Sooner Division, the Okie Division in Oklahoma on the BFLs. And one of the things that frustrated me greatly was, by the way, so these are 5 lakes. We fished 4 so far, 3 of which I had never fished on before. I had spent some time back in 1995 in a Bassmasters tournament on Grand, but I had never fished Muskogee, Eufaula, or Fort Gibson, and I actually knocked a hole in my boat at Fort Gibson. But I was frustrated. I got online not looking for areas to fish, but looking to get some knowledge on where I could run around on the lakes without tearing my stuff up. And really the only way I've been able to do that is I've made some really good friends up there who have been very key in helping me figure out where I could and where I couldn't run. Specifically on Eufaula recently, keeping me out of some areas so I didn't tear my stuff up further. But I know this year we've got 4 divisions coming to Rayburn. It's going to be the Okie, the Arkie, the Ozark, and the Mississippi. So we're going to have a lot of guys coming to Rayburn who've not spent any time down here. So I'm going to break down Rayburn with this first video, just kind of in general how Rayburn lays out. And then I'm going to break it down section by section. This is not meant to be a complete guide to navigation on Rayburn. Just because I say an area is generally open, we have floaters, there are random trees here. If the lake gets low, Rayburn will vary 8, 10, 12 feet in any given year. So if you're looking at this years in the future, make sure and check, and I'll tell you where to do that, the water level of the lake, and just be really careful getting around. But there are a couple of areas, actually several areas, that you simply don't run unless the lake is high. So I'm going to help you figure out where those are. Since most maps, electronic map, be it Navionics or LakeMaster, either one, don't have the trees marked, I'm going to give you waypoints to kind of outline the areas you can stay out of. So I think this will be real helpful for you. I think it'll help you be more efficient in your practice time. Also be safer, because the main thing is for all of us to get home to our families and the people that we love. So let's go to the map, and hopefully you'll find this informative and helpful. Please add comments at the bottom if you think there are areas that I've not covered that you shouldn't run through, or want to add waypoints to it. Please be helpful to these guys so that we can all be safe. Let's go to the map, and we'll have a series of these, so please check back at KenSmithFishing.com to view all of them. Thanks. Okay, so this is Sam Rayburn. Note here, Rayburn does not run north-south, so this is north. This is the dam down here. So you will have Jasper down here. The BFL Regional, this is 2014, will be going out of Humphreys Pavilion. A lot of tournaments also go out of Castle Boykins, which is up here just off the 147 bridge. Now, I'm going to break down the lake in small chunks later and give you waypoints, but just for now, let's talk about this area. So you can pretty much run up, this is called, well, let's do that first. So this is what's known as Easley Flats. It's got barren Pompano creeks coming into it. It's got a big roadbed across it. Now, by the way, Rayburn's pool level is 164.4. To check the lake level before you come, you want to go to the USGS, and it's under the Neches River Basin. So 164.4, the lake right now, I'm filming this in the first week of June 2014. The lake's right at pool, I think it's 164, so it's maybe half a foot low. This road bed, which later when I break down this specific section, I'll give you waypoints to, but that road bed comes into play at about 159. That is a solid concrete road bed. There's 3 or 4 bridge openings in there. If you come through this opening down here on this, I guess this would be sort of the south end of it, there's also some big bridge pilings on either side of it you really don't want to hit because they're gigantic posts. But otherwise you can run most of this. This is Mill Creek, this is Tiger. You can run most of this. There's an island right here and an island right here. Now there's a big rock island here. But when you make this corner, there is timber. I think we used to call that Solly's Woods. There's timber in here behind these islands. And there's also a giant tree right there and a giant tree right there that I've lost my waypoints on. So just swing wide of that island. Most of this is pretty much wide open until you get right about here. And you can just look on your map and see this. You don't need waypoints. You'll start picking up timber. Bear and Pompano Creeks, completely timbered over. Do not run through there. Back here on the Easley Flats, you can actually see the timber line running across there. I don't run most of this. It gets shallow. I'll only run maybe to this opening right here. At the lakes at Pool, you can run all around back here. But Rayburn, like most lakes, the timber has broke off just below pool water level. So if the lake is 164 or below, probably even 166 or below, you're in danger of hitting stuff in these areas that I'm pointing out that have timber. If it's more than 166, you may hit something, but your likelihood is much lower because most of the stuff is now a couple of feet under the water. So come around the corner here, Needmore Point. This is what's known as Buck Bay, and there is scattered timber out here. We run this, but it's sort of seat of the pants running. There is a hard timber line right back here. I'll give you that waypoint as soon as I can get to my boat on one of the future videos breaking that down for you. This is the ash, yes, A-Y-I-S-H spells ash here in Texas. This is the ash arm. Again, there's timber up the left side, some great creeks down through here, all the way up actually. But this gets pretty spooky to run. I actually don't have this marked to run. I've always run it by feel. If you don't know where you're going, be super careful up there. It's a spooky area. But you can basically run this. You can run all of this down here. This is open. Now, if the lake gets low, note these points, Needmore Point as well as Farmers, get really shallow, way, way, way offshore. So you want to be cautious if you're in the 150s on this lake, because a lot of these points run out a mile off the lake, off the bank. So that's this half of the lake. I'm going to take a break. The next video will be up to about here, and then we'll give you the rest of the lake as well.